Hello, everybody, and a happy Friday to all of you, and welcome to the Daily Lighting Critique. We have a handful of animation to go through. We've got a few stills. Quick reminder off the top, I am traveling on Monday, so I will be unavailable to do a critique, but we will be back on Tuesday, and I will see you all then. Okay, cool. Let's get started. All right, Kelvin. So here is this adorable animation. I had no idea. So we'd just seen stills up until this point, and then this popped up late in the day yesterday, and it's really well done animation.
Yeah.
It changes the context. Where did you get this from?
Just a student. I think he's done a few animation courses over the years, but right now he's doing Anim School's one. He even got an internship at Pixar last summer. So
Shocking, shocking, I say.
yeah, I know. He's definitely got his stuff figured out.
Cool.
Really
It's
good.
yeah, it's really whimsical and really fun. I'm an idiot when it comes to animation, and even I can tell this is good. So it's great to see this, and I love the conversation that you and Forrest had yesterday about whether. So the conversation yesterday in the chat was about whether, because it was like, let's get this character more in the light, and I loved your justification, which is the light is her space, and when he's entering it, that's when he's uncomfortable. And so I think it's great. But I think what Forrest was thinking about was basically that, like, especially when the character is in the pose back there, when he's introduced,
Yeah.
it's like he kind of is a little bit flat. Like there's not there's he comes in, settles, like he's just flat back there, and it's I think we should push the idea of perhaps just like a soft fill coming in from the screen right side, just shaping him up a little bit more back there.
A warmer fill or
A warmer fill. Yeah. Like imagine just like, it's just like a bounce light or whatever is just kind of coming in through the window, just shaping him up a little bit more. All the light source in this scene needs to come from that screen right side and push in that way. But just something softer, a little warmer, which is tricky because he's the cooler, because he's blue. But you may want to neutralize and keep it more like closer to white, but just like a little bit of warmth in it, but that way you can provide a little shaping. Now it's really cool what's happening in and around here, and this is what that bounce light provides. Is as he gets in here, like you can see, he goes a little bit darker under the bed, and then as he pops forward, now he's not in the light yet, but you can feel it again. That the whole idea of energy from this light bouncing up underneath him is really cool. And he steps into space. He kind of scoots over.
when he slides over the underneath the bed there that first time, that's just I put a little bit of a dark gradient
Yeah.
over there, and
Yeah.
then also got a spotlight up on his face, so as he gets closer, then he really feels that warmth from the floor.
For sure. And I actually think I think the overall feeling under the bed should go a little bit darker. Like if we could maybe even just like get some ambient occlusion in there or something to darken it down. We can still leave that bounce light on him. But the thing is that just the idea that he's playing around with the space and he's so whimsical, you do kind of want him to go in through pockets of light and shadow a little bit. And I think it's just an opportunity to give him a little bit of darkness there, especially because he uses that space to hide. Right?
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, like he starts and ends the shot underneath there, and he would only feel comfortable there. If she's in the light, he's comfortable in the dark. So just kind of darkening that down. I do like that you added these slots over this slots underneath the bed. I think that really helps out a lot with the read of it.
I've also got a spotlight that's only affecting the cardboard box there to just sort of light it up and give it some spec. Should I darken that too, or just give the whole underneath the bed just a little bit of a darken? Like, is the box a little bit too bright?
No, because I like the bounce value on it. I like the idea of that the light's bouncing up in there. It's more about like the ambient light in there.
Okay.
Just needs to come down a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to think how to do that. It's mostly I would do it. I would start by trying to run an ambient occlusion under there, and then just like bringing in some more of that darkness. Just seeing where that goes. But yeah, it's. And bring that in the character too.
Some of the,
Okay.
some of the things that I was thinking, I'm not sure if I should leave focus on pink like it is now, or just pull focus to blue when he first stops there, and then as he approaches her, bring the focus back to her.
It's a great question. Let's walk it through. So
Because right now it's just fixed on her.
yeah,
So he's
I
sort of blurred when he first appears.
I think it's. Let's see. Let me think. So the one thing with that type of move, like a rack focus back and forth, is you want to make sure there's enough frames there. Like that's what I was looking at. I was looking at how long he's back there, because if you're going like point A back to point B and then back up to point A, it can be a little jerky to the audience. I think let's try it and see. I think they're so it's like we're focusing on her. As he slides, as he gets about to this point, you just kind of rack it back there, and then you see him spring up, and then the second he let him go through that, but the second he gets to like here, like start moving it back to her. Yeah, because it's not totally drastic. The other option, which we could try, or you could try on your own, is keeping the focus on her and possibly increasing the depth of field, because there is something to be said about him coming in even more blurry, and you just kind of see him like creep in back there, and then all of a sudden he like jumps up and comes into focus, and then let's see, because once he's on her level, he stays in that Z depth space throughout.
Yeah, as soon as he goes under the bed there, then he's totally in the plane of focus.
Yeah, so he'll be in focus once he gets even as he exits. Man, that's really good. Then I think it's okay.
2 passes of that, because that's just a comp defocus.
Yeah, just try it. Like, see, and then we can post it and just see what we like. It's really hard because I keep wanting to say things that give her more life, but she is dead.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I forget who it was. I think it was Andre who suggested to bring down the brights on them. This doesn't have that edit on it yet, but.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. I
brought it down by like 40% and put a video of that in
yeah.
the chat, but
I saw that.
Sure.
I think split the difference, because I do like a little bit of that brightness.
Yeah, that's what I felt too. But I felt that it wasn't that important to keep the detail of the color rather than just having it really super bright there, just because the size of their plastic isn't super.
Yeah,
there isn't a ton going on, but
I still think that the saturation can come down a little bit more on that lamp. Actually, in looking at this bed too, I think we could pull the saturation back on the bed. I think it's a little too orange red too.
Okay.
Books and stuff look good. Anybody else have any thoughts? I'm talking a lot.
It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking really good. All right, cool. All right, let's take a look at your other one.
So for this, when he first leans in, he's got some sort of huge eye ding on his right eye that I need to fix. So that's something that I want to.
Okay, that's pretty minor.
Yeah. So everything but that.
Man, he really shakes the whole room, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I was like, there's something about that movement that's. I guess it's the camera moving.
The camera really jerks, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the moon needs to track with that. Okay, that's what I was seeing. So like, I'm looking at the moon back there, and the way that stays static, that needs to bounce with it. Because I was like, he's moving the entire office building that he's in. That's not right. That's not how things work. So that's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is looking really good. I think. Oh, cool! You got a little bit of light on that fan back there. It looks nice. What do you guys think? I'll open this up. I'll open this up a little bit.
Would be the texture of the t-shirt is too noisy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's super noisy. This is a very noisy.
It's that it's that really like tight patterning that creates like that moire stuff. It creates noise.
Oh yeah, that's just compression, I guess, from the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does it anytime you have like a really tight, whatever, like it's a super repeated tight pattern. Maybe just taking down the height map or the bump or whatever that is overall would help.
Yeah, I think that's like in the JPEG quality, or maybe it's in the, like I'm using DaVinci Resolve to put the
Got
frames
it.
together. Maybe it's something in there.
Got it. If anything, yeah, that's a good note.
It's just the last third. So
Yeah.
the beginning is pretty much the same except for that little shadow of the lamp on the clock there.
Yeah. You changed the time of evening. It's now later than straight midnight. It's good. So we step through here. Shadows are pretty good. I almost think. Step speed. I almost think that his like eye whites and teeth can come up a little bit in the shadow area, just because like that's where his performance is within his facial reactions and the words that he's speaking, like trying to make sure that we like really read that. That's super minor. Man, you get just some like nice shaping across the fingers here, kind of all down the side. I do. In this pose, I almost want to creep a little more moonlight over his back. Just like a touch. Yeah. Just like wrap that over the top just a little bit. Maybe in his head too.
That's something that I was thinking. I just need to figure that out for the next render, how to creep that rim light closer, because in the beginning he's pretty far back, so he's pretty close to the rim light.
Yeah,
figure out how to animate it without people.
His body posture changes dramatically in the shot, so that's a good one. Yeah, I mean, I think it's looking great. I think it's just this final polish stuff. I was thinking like, I wonder if making, I was gonna say like more detail in his fingernail, but whatever, it's fine.
Well, actually, his whole you probably don't see it on your end.
No, his whole hand penetrates in there.
Well, yeah, that too. That's gonna be fixed. But his like this is a really noisy render that's been denoised, so like you'll be able to see like his pores and everything in the final render. There's a lot of
I was looking at that on his skin surface, like specifically when he leans forward down here, you kind of see it. It almost looks. I was like, is that supposed to be like a goatee? So just so you all know that sometimes this happens is like we would, this is pretty drastic, but we would see stuff like this kind of like penetrating geo thing, and lots of times in films, if like and the only reason why I'm bringing this up is that sometimes we don't have access to the animators. The animators don't have time to fix things. There's a way of fixing this where basically you do a render of just him with the primary visibility turned off on the desk, and you just like render out the few frames where his hand's cutting through here, and then you can kind of paint that, like you make it seem like his hand is past the desk somehow, and you kind of piece it together in the comp. So there is, even if the animator doesn't fix it, there is a hacky way of fixing it in lighting that I've had to do more times than I'd care to admit.
I'm also wondering what you thought of adding some. I'm thinking when he hits the table, I'll have the lamp sort of flicker on and off, like it's like the bulb's sort of loose.
Smart.
And then sort of have it buzz like maybe 50% back and forth quite a bit throughout this ending.
Yeah, give that a try. That timing will be tricky. It'll be really key to get that right. Yeah. But I think that's a smart idea. I hadn't thought about that.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Let's do Stephanie now. Got this guy being chased by the drone. We've got him running down the stairs. We've got that light feeling strong behind him. Got the light shining on the screen right wall a little bit there at the end. The edge of that light feels a little too perfect. I guess it's okay. I guess it is. I guess it's spotlight. It's pretty close. I was thinking of just softening that edge a little bit. Yeah, let's soften that edge just a little bit on this. Let's see. This edge as it creeps in. Ooh, why can't I drop? There we go. But other than the noisiness of some stuff, I think this is looking really great. Anybody have any thoughts on this? I might also like darken this wall, or like just kind of this area in here. I think just like darkening it would help kind of ground that into place a little bit and just create a little more dynamic range in the image. Well, I'm holding my hand over it. Just yeah, I think darkening that area too, just in the comp, would help.
I'm wondering what that white splotch on the wall is there.
Oh, that like scratch part? Yeah, I took that as a scratch in the wall. But it is a little odd that it's the only blemish that we see. Do you think we should have her remove it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you say, it's the only piece of damage that you can see on the wall. The rest looks pristine.
Yeah, I would say it's probably a good call. Let's see if we could just take that out. Yeah, it does. It is kind of prominent.
It's also kind of hard to tell if the rest of the wall has got some like roughness or anything. I'm not sure if it's just if you can see that or if it's like the stream quality. But
yeah, it's a stream minus like plus a little low res quality. You can see it really when the light hits the wall. It looks like there's like a noise pattern in there on it, which is nice.
Now that you've paused it, I can see that there's some variation in the wall, but
yeah, I think that's it. Does anybody else have any thoughts? Really nice work, Stephanie. This is coming along really well. All right, cool. Let's hop over into some stills. All right, Mindy, you are here. How you doing? Good. All right, cool. All right, great. So I think the water looks great. I think overall it's looking really good. I was gonna say maybe add some more. I think maybe a couple of light hits onto this tree thing that's back here would be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then perhaps it's great. I like the intensity of the light. I would, if there's a way, and yell at me if this is impossible, of taking this and moving it more this way so that it kind of all like the brightness kind of all centers in the middle of the screen a little bit. Also, I'm looking at the framing on this. It almost feels like we should move the axolotl over to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Or flip her around. That'll be too much change. I was gonna say, or flip her around so she's facing the other way. I'm just realizing now that the composition feels a little left heavy. I'm sorry, I didn't think about this before. Just for the hell of it. It's so funny when you see something one way for so long, and then you flip it like that. You're like, it just feels backwards now.
Yeah.
But I think
I can try that though.
Yeah, I think it would be more about like getting just shifting the character over to the right a little bit. Do you guys agree with that? Looking for
Yeah, I think it's a little too far to the left. Yeah, I agree with that one.
Yeah, and then we can create the brightness around the middle. But I think the color is really pretty in the water. You've got these kind of floaties. Is that a technical nautical term? Floaties in the water. And then the one thing that stands out to me is that this whatever this is, it's just like it's a little bit like a saturated green. I would just pull back the saturation on that. Now for the character, I think that the pink color is really coming through nicely. It's just about like figuring out, because there's a couple things going on that I'm not quite sure. Like this very bright ring around the eye. We need to figure out what's causing that and kind of soften that a little bit more across the character. And then in terms of, like I mentioned before, I like that we're seeing variation in the color on the skin a little bit. The tendrils are now getting a little saturated as well too. So just little hair follicle things that are sticking out. I think we can pull back the saturation on that.
Okay.
I'm wondering if, let's see, let me just play with this real quick.
Is the body too dark for the squishy axolotls?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think it
Like,
could still,
A little translucency?
yeah, a little bit more translucency, just to like really play up that super squishiness. Yeah, that's not gonna do it, but
And maybe the mouth's a little too dark.
Yeah, it is good to get a little bit of that, a little of the pink color. That's kind of the telltale sign that there's enough translucency, is when you can start to feel a little bit of that pink coming into the mouth.
Okay.
But yeah, just it's funny. This character just looks the best when it's yeah, when it's just like kind of a pure magenta pinky color. In terms of the overall color, it's just like when it starts to get blues and greens in it, it just kind of starts to get a little sickly looking. So I think you're doing a good job of keeping it in that warm family. Just push that a little bit more.
Okay.
And
So just more transparent and
more
More
like
on
subsurface. It's like about there being more subsurface in there.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more about it's like yeah, it could be translucency or subsurface scattering. Just like there's a scale function inside the subsurface. And that's meant to control if it's like the subsurface on a dinosaur versus the subsurface on an axolotl. So that scale needs to come down. So it just kind of really penetrates through that skin, because there are just no bones in there.
Oh, okay.
Nothing stopping that light.
I feel like I need to make like a punk rock axolotl with like greens and yellow. Like a
Yeah.
straight down the back or something.
Like a
Exact
face, a
opposite.
nice face tattoo on an axolotl, like really toughen them up. Yeah, but but you've got, the water's looking so good. The water's really tough in this scene. I also think maybe it might be a matter of just shifting the camera over a little bit, because I'm looking at the shader at this scale is starting to break down a little bit too. Like it doesn't quite feel like it looks great all throughout here, but once we get too close to it, like it starts to feel like it feels a little low res or something. So we might need to, might need to. But I think just shifting.
It could be the depth of field looking wonky.
I think the depth. It actually looks better in the depth of field. It's that when it gets sharp,
Oh.
it's the quality of it isn't high enough to look like a rock close up. Do you know what I mean?
I see.
So
Yeah.
So it might just be a matter of like pushing that guy over, maybe. Yeah, just nudging that. It's basically just this. Sorry, I've got too many drawings on the screen now. It's basically this part right here that I'm looking at, and just like it looks more like the trunk of a tree than a rock. We can figure that out later. Let's adjust the position on this stuff. Let's focus on the character for this iteration, then we can go after that the next round.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, great, man. All right, a couple more. We got Paul here. All right, Paul. Previous iteration. How you doing, man?
Nice to meet you, Mike.
It's nice to meet you too. Yeah, this is the first time that I've seen your face. This is great.
It's true.
All right, cool. So this is the previous version, and then we've got the update here. So I love that you're playing up the warms and cools a little bit. I love this added brightness of the cabin. There really is no question that is our focus now, and that's really cool. I think. Let's see. In both iterations, more so in this one, these trees back here look really pretty. There's just like a richness to them and a fall off between that warm and cool value that is really well done. And that normally when you go like oranges to blues, you worry that there's like a gray area in the middle as it transitions. But I'm looking at them and I'm seeing warm areas and I'm seeing cool areas. But I'm also not seeing any hard lines, which is very, very cool. I think if it was me, I would desaturate the sky just a touch. And this is totally up to you. But wrong copy. I think just pulling that back just a little bit. Oh, cancel it. Might help. Because I think it's a little overpowering.
Yeah, it was because the reference is like too orange.
Yeah. That's right. There's the reference in there. Actually doing it
look better.
Yeah, actually doing it kind of even on the trees and stuff, I think it looks better. And then the house itself, I think, is looking good. I am questioning. It's the same. It's kind of the same thing that we were talking about previously. There's this light that's coming in from the right side.
Yes.
Is that? Are you intending that to be like? Because that would be like a street lamp or something, right? Because it's not, because the way that the sky looks is that the sun is back here, right? Because you've got that gradient going back to brightness. We've got light coming in, hitting back there. So it's definitely not the sun. It's just, I'll open it up. What do you guys think of that? Do you guys think that, do you prefer that light to be on or off?
I was wondering where the pink light was coming from. I wasn't here yesterday, so I wasn't sure what that note was, but it seems like the pink light is kind of like those things that you put like in your front lawn that shines up onto your house in the holidays.
Yeah. So that's true. Yeah, so the house is being lit by,
For me, it seems like the warm light on the right side of the house is coming from the sun, because it seems like it's coming from behind and to the right of the house, but I'm not sure where the pink is coming from.
That's a fair point. In my head, the sun is like back here, but I could see. You know what? Honestly, I don't know what the backplate is, but if you could just like make it a little bigger and shift it over so that because what's throwing me off is that I see the darkness right here, which would indicate that it's not over on that side. But if it continued, and like I didn't see that, then I'd be like, oh, I can buy that. That's okay. And then because the intensity of that feels more like sunlight, and then it's like got the and then the shadows are going this way. The shadows, yeah, I'll buy that. But you're right, Kelvin, about this pink light. I think because we should focus on one of the sides of the cabin being like the main. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine if it's like this side is being lit by the outside, and then the interior is glowing from this inside light.
Yes.
But but the two sides of it, one side needs to fall dark. One side needs to fall into the shadow.
I think the forest on the left would need to be a little darker too if the light's coming from the right, because you see the kind of the mountain there. I think most people are lighting it from the left, so if you're lighting it from the right, I don't know if there'd be more darkness on the forest.
I'm okay with the forest because I think it looks really good. Also, I'm realizing this too about the sky, that it. Like the lighting that's coming in feels a little bit more on the pink side than the sky. The sky itself feels a little more orange. So maybe shift and I like the pink color a little bit more. Maybe just shift it just a little bit. And then in terms of the light coming out of the house, I love that we can feel it on the surroundings. It just feels strong. It feels really strong on the snow, and then down here there's like the footprints are getting very hot. I would just tone that down a little bit. Yeah, is that cool by you? You feel good about it?
Yes, but which color is supposed to be like in the key light in the front of the house? It's like rose. Should be like more orange? Or...
I think you should just turn this light off, to be honest. Yeah, because it's not the direction that the natural light is coming from, and the light from inside the house isn't going to get up there. So it feels a little unnatural to be there.
Right.
So let's turn it off for now. We'll see how it looks in the next iteration.
Right.
Cool. All right, great. All right, Stephanie, we looked at in the video.
Thanks.
Oh, good. All right. So this is Theo. This is your first pass at lighting this character. You were talking about just establishing your like motivation for it. I think she feels like she is writing down an order at a restaurant. It feels like a so I think for me, somebody suggested an office that could work. I think for me, I would find because let me back up and talk you through where my thought process is coming from. Anytime I'm doing a character, I'm looking for a motivation to create some side lighting on them. just because it creates more shaping. It's the whole Rembrandt lighting thing. I don't think that every situation calls for Rembrandt lighting. That's certainly not true on a film. But in a shot like this, whenever you're doing like promotional material or a still to kind of like, one shot to make the character look like they do in their ideal form, I think it's really good to have a source of light coming in from the side. It could be a little in front, a little behind, but just a side light source. So I would find, you can go to HDRI Haven. They've got some really good ones. Let's see. I'll just like so, and I'm only thinking about this because I did the same thing when I lit when I did my version of Mr. Bean. Let's see if I can just search for myself. There we go. So I did the same thing, right? So I was like, okay, cool. I need to put him in some space. I'm gonna go to HDRI Haven. I'm gonna find a backplate that allows me to create light coming in from one side. And that'll allow me the opportunity to create some shaping on his face. So same thing with her. Restaurants generally have large windows up front. Put her in a space like that. Put her in a background because this yellow is going to be problematic in the long run. It would just be too overpowering for the image. And then that way we can have some light coming in on the side, either side really, hitting her, shaping her up, and and then creating some shaping in there. In terms of the focus on her, it really on her face and her eyes. We've got this gaze point coming down to the notepad. It's not essential that we really read that well. It's really about just making her look as good as humanly possible. Now the dark parts of her garments are going to be tough. You need to either make that because you can already see there is some shaping in there maybe, but it's tough to push that in. So you want that to either be not like a pure black color, either like a charcoal gray, so you can still push some light in there, or something. Although this doesn't look like there's a lot of specularity in this in the style, you just want to create an opportunity where that's not looking too super flat. So either spec or, like I said, like a charcoal gray color. And I'll always go back to this because I think Diana had such a good suggestion on these stylized hair characters. Create a couple different colors, like a darker and a lighter, and then use a noise function to mix them together, and then take that noise function and stretch it out in the direction of the hair, because it kind of creates like some streaking qualities in the hair that make it feel a little bit less plastic and less like static. I believe that's it. Does anybody else have any thoughts on this?
Oh, no.
Oh, go ahead, Kat.
Nothing. No, you're fine.
Did you post something?
Yeah, I did.
Where's that? Oh, look at that. 203, Kat. 203. Just kidding. Right. Okay. Cool. Any other thoughts on this before sign up? All right, cool. All right.
You inspired me, so I decided to spend about 4 or 4 making this.
Great. All right, cool. Yeah. Ooh, the glowy red flowers are nice.
Don't ask me for a reference because I don't have one. I was thinking like making him like gothic nighttime thing, and I just kind of went from there.
You're into going gothic with cute characters today. So
yeah, well,
Yeah, I think it's really nice. I want to see. I love the idea of these glowing red flowers. I just want to see more of them in this. I want to feel their lighting influence in the space. Okay. And then figure out a way, because none of them are actually pointed at the character right now. So if you're gonna go gothic on them, like figure out a way to maybe even just duplicate a couple and put them around here and kind of come up underneath at them.
Point them up. Okay.
And then, because then we can get.
I originally had made something that looked like a black light behind on the back 2 flowers, but that was just pulling too much focus back there, so I turned it off.
Yeah.
But I might have something that's not showing, so it puts a little bit more light on the scene. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a good value for this.
And I took those little glowy things and put them in his eyes. The little glowy flowers. I wasn't sure if I'm going to keep it, but I thought it'd be cute.
Yeah, give it a try. I mean, right now, when I first saw it, I was reading them as reflections. So, but now that I brighten it up a little bit, I think. But I'm just trying to think, like, how do we get that character to pop off that background? And I think it's just keeping the character almost exposed up a level over top of them, over top of the background.
Okay.
Be good, and then up and under lighting here. Yeah, but just like spill that red light, like get like little point lights or something for this red light to and make it have like a quick fall off, but like it should hit the ladder and the surrounding areas, and then
Okay.
That's cool.
I wasn't sure if I should make him too strong, because I didn't want them to distract from him. So that's kind of why I made him a little smaller.
No, I think.
But I can crank him if you want.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, it's not going to be like spotlights. It's just some like feel their influence around the space a little bit.
Okay,
it's cool. Good stuff. All right, good job, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back again on Tuesday. Again, no critique on Monday. All right, be good, everyone. I'll talk to you all soon. All right,
Take
bye.
it
Al.
easy.